So here's the man who took a break from social media to build a phenomenal company. It's Nok Orrason. How are you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure. Definitely a pleasure.
Dude, I'm so excited. So Nok is the CEO of Lydia, which is a partnership platform for creators, influencers who want to find partnerships. And what I found really interesting, Nok, is that it's seemingly like you took a break from the very thing that you sell on to go and it sounds like a mission or a discovery. And like, when we were talking, I thought it'd be really, really great to bring you on for you to share as a leader what that did for you. Like you're obviously a young guy doing amazing things in business. And I'd love for you to start just by sharing what, first of all, actually, let's start. What caused you to want to take such a big break from socials?
hmm Good question. I've been on social media, of course, for 12, 13 years or something. And it's been my main business for 12, 11 years. So I started my career as a influencer myself in Iceland. So I was creating a lot of content everywhere I go. I've been having the privilege of traveling with my grandpa. We made a social media series about that. I traveled with my grandpa. It was a grandpa's bucket list, and we traveled to 10 countries in Europe and showed him something that he always wanted to see. 75 years old. So I was always creating content, and I loved it. It's so big part of my life. But now, when I'm focusing on rather than being an influencer myself, for the last 5, 6 years, I've been focusing on helping other influencers. Creating content is of course something that I love to do, but at this stage in my life, I wanted to just stop doing that, go out of social media, so I can just focusing on meeting our influencers' needs in my company Lydia. So the reason for it was just like really, just I want to be so laser focused on our mission to be. We are obsessed with meeting our influencers' needs. So I just want to take everything out that was not helping with that at the moment. So yeah, that was the reason for I did it. It took a lot of time, and I loved it, of course, when I was doing it. But this year, last year, 2024, was amazing breakthrough for me. One of the reasons was because I was not on social media.
Tell me more about this breakthrough then. So like, tell me like, walk me through it. What really significantly changed for you?
I will definitely say I didn't realize how much social media. I knew it was taking some time from me and also giving me, because I truly believe social media is a beautiful place to learn, and I've learned so many things there. So that was something that I missed. I missed like learning and seeing all the content, like all the value there's in there, with like people posting, and so that's a really good part. That was something that I missed. But the other thing was like it, it for me personally, it was it was taking more space in my mind that thought I I thought it did. I thought it did. So that's the main breakthrough here, is that I realized, okay, wow, I am thinking more about what my followers are liking, and what for because I'm a I started my career in Iceland, and people uh, talk a lot about, of course, people that are in the spotlight, and I was for many years in the spotlight in Iceland. I I told myself that I didn't care about it, and I was not thinking that much about that. People were talking about me and things like that. But when I just logged out of social media, and then I realized, like, oh, it was taking. I have to be honest to myself here. It was taking more of my energy to be constantly thinking about the things that I was creating, and the reactions and the engagement. So it was really healthy for me to get like a social media fasting and come back, and now I truly feel like I'm a different different creator today, like, because I'm just creating for value, not for the like. So things like that. So
Wow. Yeah, yeah. Because I think as like business owners, one of the most valuable commodities we have is our attention, our focus, I call it bandwidth. And like, share with me, what did you do with that excess? Like, so let them say you got 30, 40% of your bandwidth back. What did you see shift in the business? How you led? Because I know you've got a team. I know you've got incredible partnership and board. Tell me what happened when you started to use that extra bandwidth.
It's a really good question, an important question because having this extra bandwidth, like you're saying, gives you just more focus. Like you do, it's a slight edge. If I can reference the book Slight Edge, it's like just a little bit more focused, because like during the day it was not about like I was so used to getting like a feedback from people, like good feedback from followers that liked what I was doing, and people that were watching me, and also people that didn't like, really disliked, and some people hated so badly what I was doing. So I had all these things, but I got used to it. But then when I like stopped, just like I didn't see it for 1 year. It was interesting how much, yeah, like you said, bandwidth I got to just focus on actually what matters. Yeah, so what helped, this helped me was just more focus on, it's the little things. It's just a little bit more focus each day on the meetings, what I'm doing, with a little bit of less distraction. So it was just it was the slight edge. And in the last 5-6 years, I definitely had a really good relationship with social media. I was my screen time was not that much. I skipped the phone. I didn't have my phone with me when I was having a meaningful conversation with people that I love in my family, and going on out for a dinner or things like that. So I was really had good habits around the phone, but it surprised me how much it was taking, when I look back.
Yeah, because I can recall our conversations, and something I've observed in you, like when we've been talking, is that you're very, very present. You're like I think that's something I admire in any leader. But you've just got this presence you bring to conversations. You're very engaged. You're very with the person. Like I remember when we last spoke, because one of the things I walked away from the conversation is like, that must be an amazing trait for your team. Like how many people do you have in your team?
We're 12 people now, 12 people.
And how many people did you have last year?
6.
So you doubled your
So
team. Oh, wow, my
double the
gosh.
team, and we like 10 times our influencers that we're working with. So, and thank you very much for the compliment here. I really appreciate it, and I do a lot to be present, and I do a lot of things to do it. So it's really yeah, it's lovely to hear you say that. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, go on. I'm a details guy in this sort of way. So, because like I think that you've got a level above, because I work coaching. This is kind of what we do. I'm very absorbed in the conversation with someone. But you said you do things to be more present. What are those?
Main thing for me is practicing mindfulness, and mindfulness means a lot of things. But when it comes to, like, if we just put it simple, it's just becoming familiar with things. So meditation is all about becoming familiar. So what I do when I wake up in the morning, I do my gratitude. I go through things that I'm grateful for, and I go into the gym, and I'm just in the gym. There's no emails, there's no distraction. It's just me in the gym listening to some motivational, inspirational videos. Yeah, just Denzel Washington talking about like fail big and things like that. So that's what I'm listening to, and I'm just there. And it starts just with doing one thing at a time. I don't believe in multitasking. Some people are really good at being multitaskers, but I question it. How many people actually are good at multitasking? So for me to do one thing at a time and trust my schedule, and of course have also planned my day, uh, allows me to be here fully present with you, engaging, because I know the next thing I will do is a meeting with is a one-on-one meeting with one of my team members, and I know that my schedule takes care of that. I will be there or on time and things like that, so I can just enjoy with you here. And I prepared for the meeting, so I don't need to think about it. I just go into the meeting prepared. So it's the mindfulness. It's the one thing at a time, and yeah, fully connected to what's going on in front of you. That's something that I practiced for years. But yeah, mindfulness is key here. You can do it with meditation. You can do it with mindful eating. You can do it with mindful listening. You can do it with mindful, meaningful conversation. That means that I'm mindful of every word that I'm saying, because I love that. Like a mindfulness practice is to be aware of what word you're choosing to say. So yeah, that's
Really good. I really like that because I think so many leaders are not present. I think that so many people, and like I love working with different people who like lead companies, and I was like, oh, I wonder what problems they have because they are like that. And it's like, imagine like as an employee walking into your office, you know, you've got someone who's really listening to you, taking time. I was actually listening to a book by Steve Chandler this morning called Time Warrior, and and I can remember it's like one of the things that I used to do is I would have a schedule that was just like I was doing all different things, different kinds of things, different types of work, and my bandwidth was really low, and I was probably the least productive I've ever been. And now I have three things a day. I have three things, and like if I do those three things, I'm really productive. And anytime I am doing more than those three things, I am scattered. That's how I feel anyway. What can you speak to that for a second, Knock?
Yeah, beautiful. Like that's a key also in to being present, because before 9 a.m. I do my three things. So before I come here to like have this conversation with you, coming on this podcast, I do my most important things before I start my day. So I love to wake up early. That's something that is really good for me. I truly believe people are different, so different things works for different people. For me, it's definitely early mornings and finishing my three things. And good that you said three things, because I also I'm a great believer in three things.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be some science behind it, but it's like three things that I do before 9 a.m. and that's when my day starts with us in meetings and things like that. But I'm fully prepared for the day. There's nothing that I need to do to rush into, or it's really rarely when things like is ASAP. Of course, things like that happens, and when my when a customer is having a trouble now, of course we need to focus on that and see how we can help the customer. So, but in my daily routine, there's not many ASAP things. So great that you mentioned that. I agree. This is really important.
Yeah, and it's actually one of the things that I've really like. If I look back on my 20s versus my 30s, like I was reactive in my 20s. I'm created in my 30s. I create my state. I create anything before I react. And the days that I am more reactive, I just don't get as much done. That's what I was thinking, especially when you're sharing about not being on social media. You've probably removed one of the most reactive, what's the word for it? It's probably the most reactive inputs in your whole life, right? Like, curious question. I know recently you've come back on to social media and like, have you noticed anything like that?
I decided when I come back to social media, all I was gonna do is I'm gonna post the content. Then I'm gonna engage to people that I'm like that are following me and engaging to my content, and answer people that are having questions. That was it. So I just do it really productively. I do it with a time frame of like when I'm gonna do it. So I don't. I've not been around scrolling and using things like that. But like I said, I love that about social media, and there's so much value in social media. I truly believe in social media, but it's really important for you to have your own boundaries, have your own things. But it's challenging that, because these social media is so, it's like it's intelligent. Probably, yeah, one of the most many of the most intelligent people in the world that are focusing on how can we get our user to use our platform, like social media, more. So it's really hard to be fighting against intelligent people like that. But I truly believe in taking responsibility. I don't wanna say like, hey, this is social media's fault that this happened, or I'm wasting my time because social media is so like this. I
Mm.
believe in taking full responsibility, so I take full responsibility for my time using social media.
I love that. Let's talk about Lydia, because when we first connected, I was like, Lydia, what that? I looked into the business and I was like, it's Lydia.io, right? Lydia.io.
SO, Lydia.SO. Yeah, yeah.
Lydia.SO. Sorry, I'll put it in the comments anyway. And I was like, it's a market I never even knew existed. It was like, wow. It was, first of all, it was like a product that I would never have thought of. But then actually, when I started exploring what it was and what the company was and what you were doing, it's an incredible market. So I'm really curious about how you got into um, the influencer partnership market. This is like, if you want to, feel free to go back as far as you like, but as this really interesting marketplace.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been like focusing on like supporting influencers for so many years. It started, like I said in the beginning, it started as me as being an influencer myself, being a content creator, creating TV shows, like I said, with my grandpa, with my best friends, with my girlfriend, and things like that. So it was all about that. But in 2016, 17, I started focusing on, okay, I love this, but I like more to see people's dreams come true. So when people actually ask me, what do you do? My answer to that question is really simple. I help people to make their dreams come true. That's what I'm about. So for me now, I'm focusing on influencers because I can see it's really like it's really beautiful because so many people now and children. Hopefully, you people are keeping the child inside of them and start and they're still dreaming. But so many children want to be an influencer, want to be content creator, YouTuber, and things like that. So for me, having somebody coming in, having that dream of creating content for millions of people and being able to support on that journey has been so like invaluable for me in my life. Like it's been amazing. So I started as a influencer agency, just manually working with influencers, helping them with paid partnership and things like that. And then I thought, like, why not do it in scale? Why not use the technology that we have now to help like thousands of influencers? We help now thousands of influencers. But what about hundreds of thousands? What about million? Because we have 2 million influencers, people that have got some compensation for their content in last year. So 2 million. So definitely something that I'm really interested in, and that's why we started this and created this platform called Lydia. And Lydia is everything in one place for influencers, paid partnership, and it's first of its kind. They can come in and yeah, have everything in one place, and also get brand deals and communicate with brands and things like that. So I'm really passionate about supporting people, and now I'm focusing solely on influencers because I truly believe that's a really beautiful place to yeah have an influence on many millions of people because we have it through our influencers.
Dude, I love your thinking, man. Is so just to clarify for the audience as well. So like, I'm an influencer. Let me take an example. My partner Poppy, she she was making a TikTok with all the kids stuff on there, and like, we get so many people asking us, "Will you promote this? Will you do this? Will you do that?" And like, because of the reels that she makes, just go viral, like millions of views, right? So if she wanted to use that as a monetization route, she could go on to Lydia and find deals where she could partner with brands to monetize what she's creating.
Definitely. And what happens in Lydia is that when she signs up, she gets a proposal for brands that are ideal. And based on the data that her social media is giving, the engagement that her content, we find her an ideal partnership. So she doesn't need to find, she gets. So that's why we're changing the game is because the influencer just gets the ideal partnership that they based on data what they need. Of course, they can find ways to request some partnership, but now they get it into their inbox in the app without
Sorry,
doing
dude.
anything. They
I
don't
might be
need to
looking at
do
you.
it.
Yeah, yeah. I love looking at you funny. I'm like, I'm just working out. This is amazing. Like, really getting to understand this, because I think that like, I don't know. Maybe you've got the figures on this now. Is it UGC and influencers and all that stuff? That is the way that brands are going to market from now on, right? There's so much more of this going on now, right?
Definitely, it's getting bigger and bigger. The market size of influencer marketing has like is 4 times bigger now than 4 years ago. So it's like it's really growing this market, but it's constantly changing. It's like interesting to be like working in this market for so long, is that you see trends come and go, but what you see in the foundation or whatever, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It's all about how much you connect with the people that you are creating content for. So it's about the raving fans. And how do you get raving fans? You get it with authenticity and trust. So that's a beautiful thing to think about when you're creating content. It's all about these things, and not about the numbers of followers and things like that. It's more about the quality.
Wow, that's such a good point as well, because like I've noticed that you see these people and they've got hundreds of thousands, millions of followers, and like first of all, you like look on the first follower and like the first 20 or 50 followers that they've got, it's all bots anyway. But the thing that is interesting is like, and this is something that I think so many businessmen and aspire to be, is that the company was obviously doing well. I remember you saying, and you actually acquired some really good partners behind the scenes. Like, and you know, one thing I was really interested in, Nok, is you actually had one of the high level. You can tell me more details. Really high level performing board member who's actually become a mentor. Could you share that experience? That'd be really helpful.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like I'm all about learning, and I have been studying the big companies like Amazon. I've been studying also just like Jeff Bezos, and just like how could how could they do this? It was not just Jeff Bezos, of course. It was a lot of people, but he was leading. So how did Amazon be the way they are today? Like what is the pattern? What is the blueprint? And I read the book Working Backwards, and Working Backwards is a book about yeah, really important uh, like pattern blueprints that helped Amazon and make the Amazon what they are today. One of the author is Colin Breyer, and I was just so impressed by this book and how practical it was and just how insightful it was, that I started reaching out. Like, how can I get into touch with this guy? I need to learn from him. So I reached out to him. His assistant, she gave me time with him, and I just talked to him for a while about the book and how passionate I'm about this, about the book, about the information, and how passionate I'm about for learning from him. And yeah, so he was ready to jump on board, and is now my main mentor. And he was working with working in Amazon for 12 years. And he worked, for example, 2 years as a chief of staff for Jeff Bezos. He was called Bezos' shadow in Amazon. So he had made, it was like a, just like the stories and things that he knows, because it was 1998 to 2010, I'm pretty sure. It was like when Amazon was starting to be the empire they are today. So learning from this guy has been amazing. Shout out to Colin Breyer. Shout out to the book Working Backwards book, because the yeah, just the tools that he teaches there, and the tools that they created in Amazon to make the best process for the team to be in sync and understand what is valuable for the customers. It's just like so valuable for everybody to read, in my opinion, and having the chance to learn from the author. It's been amazing. I'm grateful. Like I just yeah. Every session I'm taking so much notes. At the beginning, I was like in a really good way. It was like after a really like a high intense exercise gym session, because I was just exhausted after the after the session. There was so much value coming into. So, but I like that. I like and I truly believe in mentors for yourself. Like, definitely, like I had the opportunity to go on a coaching session with you. It was amazing. Like the question you ask, and but just like having like a coach is so important. It's so important because the coach tells you inspires you to take two more reps. And also in business, it's all about that. Also, he inspires me and helps me to do the two reps in my business and everything that I'm
That's
doing,
so
and that's
good.
the slight edge that I gain from it. So yeah, definitely invaluable to have him on board.
Yeah, because I do the same. Like I love what you shared there, because I think that's something that I read a book, and if it really moves me, I reach out to the author because I'm like I just want to say thank you. Like some of the books I've read from many authors, they've been on my podcast. I've done sessions with them, and what's amazing is you created a partnership, and he's mentoring you. Like that is just like so. Let's like what about you has changed since working with somebody at that level? Like so, obviously the mentoring you're going to get is like that's world class, isn't it? It's absolute world class. What like since you started that mentoring to where you are now, what is night and day different about Nok?
I remember in our session that I talked about like details and how much was important for me to start focusing on and giving really detailed explanation of what I'm thinking and things like that. So that's one of the things that I've learned the most for the last year since he started mentoring me, is that the attention to details in communicating to the team what actually is going to meet the influencer's needs. This is not just about me being clear, it's also about us being clear as a team, us being clear to the question that we're asking each other, clear on the data that we are looking at. It's so much about being specific. And it's just like from the person that I was 12 months ago, I had good ideas and the team had good ideas, but now we can communicate these ideas like we are communicating with a computer. So like everything we do, everything we write down, is that we ask ourselves, could computer take this? Like hundreds of computers, could they take this and do the same thing? And as a human being, like if you write something and we have 12 people, we have 12 people in the team, and if they're understanding it in a 12 different ways, we have a problem. We're gonna run into so that's been a really much key. I always believe and think I am being really clear, but when he comes in, always little bits that we can do better. So I love that. Like always, like oh yeah, this word here, like flexible. What does flexible mean? What do you mean flexible? Like whatever it is, like to be specific, and that's really good. And also another thing is that I truly believe 12 months ago that I was really customer centric, and that's a mission in a company. Our mission is obsessed with meeting influencers' needs. It's our mantra. But when this guy came in, he started questioning in a so good way, in so empowering way, are you actually obsessed? Or are you just saying it? I said like, no, I'm like triggers and things like that. Yeah, I'm not, I'm walking the talk. But like then, I actually, of course, it's all about listening and being like open for this feedback. This guy knows what he's talking about. He's done it for decades. I understand like, okay, we can be even more. We were obsessed with influencers, meeting influencers, but we can do even more. Even more. It's like everything we do is abundance of that. So it helped me so much to meet our influencers' needs better than any other company. And also our goal is to be better than any other company to do that.
Can you share like a specific example when you realize like I thought, because I think that you're so right, is like we in businesses are, especially when we're running a business, we're all about the customers, we're customer focused, we want to be the best part of your day, whatever we say these things, but then what's the level of shift that we make different? So what changed when you really got focused on that?
Be in the customer's shoes, be in the influencer's shoes more often. Like now, every day I put myself in the team. It's like everybody in the team, CTOs, developers, everybody is putting themselves in the shoes of the customer, not thinking like what is what the customer wants. It's actually being the customer. What do I want as a customer? I'm an influencer. What do I want? And we of course use the data a lot to understand it. But it's all about putting yourself in the other person's shoes, not as you, but as them. It's also about just being compassionate and things like that. But if you want to understand somebody, you need to listen to it, listen to the person. You need to put yourself in their shoes as them, not as yourself. Because if I was in this shoes, I will do this. Okay, you're not putting, you're just wearing my shoes.
Yeah,
So that's been really like a important thing for us, is that everybody in the team also, it doesn't matter who you are. We have something called obsession, like a customer obsession log. Everybody logs, and once a week, what they did to put themselves in the customer's perspective, in the shoes as them, not like as the customer, not as them. So yeah, that's been really helpful.
sounds like you've got a good culture at Lydia, and like I think something that you shared in our last conversation is you care a lot about that. You know, like I think I gathered that. What has been like, especially behind the scenes of Lydia, what do you think has been the even over the last 12 months, what have been the things that you've done as a leader that have had profound impact on company culture, company output, company enjoyment? Like what would be the things that you go, do you know what? I put this in and I saw the change.
It's all about getting the right people around you. So for me, everybody's a leader. So being in a position to be with people that are, everybody's a leader in the team. Of course, people have responsibilities, and some we have like somebody that is owner and is like responsible for this decision and things like that. And I'm a great believer in one person should rule in some aspect, not in the whole, because people that are in my team are much better than me, so they make decisions. So just being like this, seeing everybody as a leader, and having this habits, team habits that we have to be sure that we are walking our talk. We have our values, not just written on the wall. We have values in our culture guidelines book, and we are constantly asking ourselves, if we make mistake, for example, what value did we violate when we made this mistake? And then you need to take a look at the value book, the values in the culture guidelines, about like what values did I break. And then that's something that is really important, and in the last 12 months we've been doing this really well, in my opinion, and we can always do, of course, better, but we're doing really well of making these habits and creating these team habits are really important for us.
Yeah, I like a team habit, because I remember like in my fitness business we had I remember reading Tony Hsieh's book, which is Delivering Happiness, for anyone who's not read it, and it
Really
talks
good
about
book.
this idea of you read that book?
A really good book, yeah, really good book.
Really great book, and
Shout out.
Nok's a fellow like book nerd like me, and I remember reading it thinking, yeah, do you know what? I'd always created the culture with the clients, but I never thought like, well, what does our culture want to look like? And you know that, and like I don't know, but you probably talked about this as well. Is when my relationship with the staff and when we were all good and the company was felt tight on the inside, we'd always make more sales. We'd always deliver better value, and it was kind of always and if there was a problem existing in the client facing world, sometimes we needed to rectify it in the behind the scenes first. I don't know if you've experienced that.
Yeah, definitely. I truly believe the biggest asset that company has is the right people. It's not just the people; it's the right people. So definitely, what you're saying here is like all about the team and making people's dreams come true. Is what I said earlier. Like what I do, my main thing is to help my team members also to make their dreams come true, because everybody in the team has dreams and has desires that we wanna make come true. So we do that together, and we have goal session every month. So everybody puts their personal goals out there. We share each other with goals. We have meditation, 9 a.m. every. That's why I do everything before 9 a.m. because first thing we do together is meditating, and every day. So yes, the habits like this, and then like you've noticed, like if you focus on your team, and especially for me, my only job is as a CEO is to help my team members, help my team to be a little bit better today than yesterday. So that's
Question for you. This is for the skeptical person listening to this podcast. So you walk into work. I'm trying to clarify this, because like this is like you walk into work, and as a team, 9 o'clock comes, and there's a meditation. There's a slowness, and like, Can you remember before that practice was put in place and after? What changed?
Definitely, yeah, that's a really good question. What changed is that like we're more in sync. These like just check in. It's just 10 minutes check in. And the reason why we do it together, because people can ask like, wow, they shouldn't use all the time to do productive things and move the needle for the business. I truly believe in meditation is good for me, and I truly believe it's good for most people. So having that time together at working hours is the best investment that I've ever made, because we do it like I want the people to do it on the private, like personal time and things like that. They start doing it because this is just like so good foundation. So it's a sync. It's the like we check in on each other every day. We see each other's faces. We're international. Like we have a virtual office, so we are in so many countries. So for us, it's also essential for us to come in, see each other's faces, and the team work. And also about like when we have it's amazing to hear somebody in the team say like, when I came into Lydia, I knew that I was really skillful, like really good at what I was doing. But now I feel like I'm even better at what I'm doing, and even a better person than I came in. So it's like, wow, and that's something that I'm really proud of. And I say the same thing. Like, I'm a better person today than 1 year ago because of the team. The team is inspiring me, like we're inspiring each other. So yeah, I could talk for hours about the team habits and things like that. But yeah, so for the skeptical person, I like that question. Is that what I definitely experienced is that the team was more in sync, and that's something that is so important for just like being more efficient as a team, is to be more in sync.
Dude, I reckon you're going to be writing a book one day about how you created the most influential influencer platform on the internet, and with the helm of. But honestly, um, uh, if someone was listening to this and I think that is great leadership. Like having a leader like yourself, it's transformational. I remember, I was singing my own praise a little bit, but I remember when I had people come and work for me at Fast, and I enjoyed so much watching them flourish, and they stayed with me for a long time. We didn't have staff turnover. I didn't, it became a real close knit team. It's beautiful. Nok, I want to respect your time and wanted to share. So there's a couple of things I'm going to put in the comments for the podcast. I can put, check out Lydia. Honestly, after hearing, especially after you hearing you explain it, dude, I love that. I'm going to get Poppy to sign up for it as well.
Nice.
You also run a mastermind, don't you? There's a mastermind that you have where people come together and they push each other. So what I'll do is I'll pop some links. Have you got a link for that in the podcast on the internet as well?
Yeah. Definitely share the link. Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, because honestly, I endorse, if you are a business owner and you want to get around great people like Nok, the best way to do it is to access and be with him on the journey. He runs a mastermind. He's a great leader. And dude, I'm so great. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, and I'm sure I'll have you on again.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll be back as soon as possible. And I want to just thank you for how insightful you are. And like I said, the coaching session we had together was amazing. And I'm looking forward to see you as soon as possible, Benjamin. Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.